Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Check It Out, the library talk show that lets you know what's happening in and around the Bethel Park Public Library. We're your hosts, Elaine Volpe
and Christine McIntosh, and we'll start with what is going on in the Adult Services Department. There's a lot of good educational opportunities for you. The first is Understanding the Reality of Addiction on Thursday, June 1st at 7 p.m. This is presented by Lucy Garrigan. She's the founder of the Jade Wellness Center, and also Dr. Victoria Matassi. She's an addiction medicine specialist and also affiliated with the Jade Wellness Center. So in this seminar, you'll learn what addiction is, how to recognize it in your family, your friends, your coworkers, a history of opiate addiction, defining what is good treatment, and then she'll talk about Narcan, what it is, where to get it, how to use it, and there will be a demonstration on how to use Narcan if you come across somebody that is overdosing. There will be a chance for questions and answers at the end. So again, that's Thursday, June 1st at 7. On Wednesday, June 7th at 7 p.m., Increasing Your Investing IQ. I think we all can use this.
Yes.
I feel pretty clueless when I'm talking about investing.
This
seminar will be presented by financial advisor Corey Phillips, who is a representative with Edward Jones. So it's like a Foundations of Investing seminar, and you'll learn about the importance of developing a strategy, which I still don't have, really.
Me neither.
The impact of asset allocation and the influence of inflation on your long-term goals. So I'm waiting for the market to crash. It's been a while. It's been going up, so. But you can come and learn some investing basics. We also have minor changes, major results, proven strategies to trim down, firm up, and get fit. This will be Thursday, June 22nd at 7 p.m., and it's presented by Joseph A. Luxbacher, or Luxbacher, maybe, who has a PhD. This workshop is appropriate for men and women of all ages and fitness levels who are interested in improving their health and their physique. So you'll learn how to lose weight, keep it off, redefine your physique, and improve your energy levels, all without exhaustive workouts or wacky diets. So I don't know what kind of method he's following, but
Good. So I might want to find out.
I know if I don't have to work out for hours a day, that would be really great. And then a really great activity is the Bethel Park Community Star Party, which will be Wednesday, June 28th at 9 p.m. This is an all-ages thing. We are encouraging families to come. This will be presented by the Amateur Astronomers Association of Pittsburgh. So there'll be an astronomy presentation in the library, followed by a guided viewing of the wonders of the night sky in our parking lot, the upper parking lot towards the back, through telescopes that the Astronomer Association members will bring. If you do have a telescope or if you have binoculars, please feel free to bring them and you'll be able to see. They will point out many night sky objects like Jupiter, Saturn, the Summer Triangle, which I'm not sure what that is.
Me neither, and I read that in the description and I was curious.
Double stars and more. So that's Wednesday, June 28th at 9 p.m. and that is part of our, for adults, the summer reading program, which has the theme of Open Up a New Universe. And the adult summer reading program runs June 5th through July 30th. You can sign up in the library and then you read or listen to any book. No magazines or newspapers, that's cheating, come on now. And then you complete and submit an entry form for each book that you have read or listened to. And you can do that either in the library or you can submit your entries online, but you do have to register in the library the first time. Then we have a weekly drawing from the entries from that week only. And you win a $25 gift card. So for each week, there's one $25 gift card that you would be eligible for if you happen to read a book that week. And then all entries from all weeks that are received before July 31st will be eligible for our grand prize drawing, which is an Orion Space Probe Reflector Telescope. It's really awesome. It's on display.
It's a great prize, yes.
It's on display in the library. So you can come up and check it out while you sign up for summer reading.
Definitely.
I know. And take a look now at some of the new DVD titles that are coming out and available for you in June.
Show me the girl.
Look at her. What if she is the one? The one who'll break the spell? Hello.
You can talk.
Hello, of course we can talk.
I'm afraid.
The legend. John Wick. You're not very good at retiring. I'm working on it. Every single song.
How smart is this thing?
So there's a little something for everybody. We got a family movie, we got a romance, we have an action, and then sci-fi, which is not my favorite, but
Me neither.
it depends.
To each his
Star
own,
Trek, Star
right?
Trek I like, but
Did you like Star Trek?
oh yeah, Next Generation
Yeah,
and the
not
Star
my
Trek
thing.
movies.
But I probably will still see the new Star Wars movie
I
that
will
comes out
definitely
in
see the
December.
Star Wars movie.
Yeah, I just saw the
Maybe I
previews
am
for
into
that.
sci-fi. I don't know.
You might
I don't
be.
know. So what's going on over in the Youth Services Department?
Well, over in the Children's Department, we are 15 days away from summer reading, at least 15 days away from the time that we're taping this show, so we couldn't be more excited. And the theme for this year's summer reading program is Build a Better Tomorrow. So there's so many ways that you could do that, so we had a lot of fun planning this summer for you. We are switching up the way that we run the program. In years past, we've asked kids to earn bingos, and this year we're inviting them to earn badges. So when they sign up, they'll get a brick that looks like this. And as you can see, there's space on there to proudly display your badges. And then this brick will be hung up on the library wall. So, go ahead. Did you have a question?
No, I have a comment.
Oh.
I don't really like the build the wall idea in today's political climate.
And that's a great point. And some of my staff actually brought up the same point. So even though we're displaying these on the wall, we're actually going to make a bridge. So we're not building a wall, but we
we're
are
building a
bridging all of the
bridge.
grades
Okay.
together, right? So the birth through preschool, because everybody has a different color brick.
Okay.
Birth through preschool, we're going to build up, and then over, and then the elementary, and then the tween and teen, and we're all going to connect so it is a bridge
It is
and not a wall. I'm
all-inclusive.
actually glad you brought that up.
Yes.
Sarah and I were just talking about it this
Okay.
morning.
Glad.
Do
Approved.
you feel better about
Yes,
that?
thank
Okay,
you.
good. So where were we? So we're encouraging everyone to earn badges, and we of course encourage, as we always do, each child to work at his or her own pace, but we do hope that by the end of the summer, everybody earns all 6. Because if they do so, then they get 6 raffle tickets into some fabulous grand prizes.
Really great prizes.
So I'm going to show actually one of the prizes on today's show. A beautiful set of Magna tiles. This is a 100-piece set. It goes for $120 online, so we're really excited to give this big one away. It's like an engineering toy. I mean, you don't know it, but like you're building, and you can build so many different things. So I like to think of it as an engineering tool as well. an educational toy for sure, and it's great for all ages. So it says 3 up. So if one of our little ones did win this, you might just want to put it away until they're, toddler and preschool age. But then, like, all the way up. Like, I know high schoolers who build. I mean, it's fascinating.
46-year-olds that play with it,
absolutely.
because I think they're very cool.
They really are.
Yeah.
So if you're not familiar with what they are, magnetiles. It's like you're building with blocks, but they're magnetic, so they stick together.
And one thing I like about those is they don't have to be rectangular, because there's triangle pieces,
triangle
so you can
ones,
make
yep.
angles. That's one thing I really like about it.
Yep, so this is just one of our grand prizes. There will be 6 altogether, including some museum memberships and a $100 Amazon gift card, so that you can purchase anything that you would like. We are kicking things off on Bethel Park's last day of school, so Wednesday, June 14th. We're having our kickoff party, and we're holding it over at the Bethel Park Community Center from 6 to 8 p.m. And when you come, families would receive their official registration packet, including this instruction booklet that tells you more about each badge and how to earn it and what it entails. You'll get your Lego brick, as I've already shown you, along with some other goodies, coupons from many of our sponsors, such as Chick-fil-A, Applebee's, Pizza Hut, McDonald's, and Chipotle, all sponsored this year. So you'll get some coupons in your official registration packet as well. And, just details of how we're going to work it. You'll find that all out on the 14th. We'll have activities there for you to do, including rock painting. You're familiar with Pittsburgh Rocks? Mm-hmm. Have you liked and followed them on Facebook?
No, I have not.
Do that. When you go back
Okay.
upstairs, like and follow them, because it's so cool to see these pictures that are posted. But essentially the idea behind Pittsburgh Rocks is that you paint rocks and then you hide them anywhere in the city for others to find. And it's just a great way to brighten their day. And then whoever finds it has fun re-hiding it.
There is one in our courtyard. Did you know that?
I knew there was one, and I was wondering if it was still there.
It is
because
still
I haven't
there.
seen it on my way.
It
was
still
moved.
there. It's moved. It's moved almost behind the
Well, don't
weeping.
tell patrons. They have to come in and find it.
That's the second one I've seen out there. There was
That's
another
cool.
one a few weeks ago, and then I was like, what happened to that one? I'm like, oh, look, there's a new one.
It's really
So,
cool.
okay.
Some of them have like inspirational messages on the back. Some of them have QR codes on the back. So you can scan it and it'll take you to like
so
this
much
cool
fun.
link. But and I've seen them painted with just rainbows and sunshines. Some of them are like your favorite superhero. I've seen that done. So you can paint anything you'd like. Be thinking about it, because at our kickoff, we'll give you, the rocks and all the paint supplies you need to paint a rock. We liked the idea so much, we actually made it part of the community badge. So here at the kickoff, we're giving you the opportunity to already knock off one of those criteria. Come paint a rock. There'll be other activity stations there as well. And then at 7 o'clock, the entertainment begins. And we are super excited to have Josh and Gab back this year. They are a dynamic musical duo whose message is anti-bullying. So they have songs that really fit around our theme of how each one of us can make a difference and build a better world. So they will take stage at 7 o'clock. And we're just really excited about that.
It is.
That is open to families, so we're inviting everybody, all ages, but specifically something for teens the next day on Thursday, June 15th, is the annual Teen Lock-In. So at our annual Teen Lock-In, we always have a lot of, fun planned for the kids, including scavenger hunts, and we feed them, so there's pizza and there's snacks. But this year, we're adding an escape room game. So I think we alluded to this on one of the previous shows. You're familiar with them, because they do them down the south side and other locations for adults and for kids, I guess. But we're going to start holding them here at the library, where you will be locked into the library and you will have to solve a series of clues in order to get out. So we have one planned for the lock-in. We also have a special guest author who will be attending this year's lock-in. Don Bianco is a local Pittsburgh author, and his story, The Apparition, actually takes place right here in Pittsburgh. A lot of it
Bethel
takes
Park,
place
right?
in Bethel
Bethel
Park.
Park.
Yes. So it's a great read for anyone, but especially if you're a Bethel Park resident, because, you'll understand a lot of the references and just think it's pretty cool that, all those places are mentioned.
In the book, yeah.
But his book also has a very important message, and I'll let him go a little deeper into that when he joins us here in just a few minutes. But I think it's so important that today's books that our young adults are reading not only are enjoyable, but
Have a message.
teach a lesson, have a message, inspire, right? So he's actually here with us on today's show, so stay with us. We'll be right back after this break.
One of the things we do at BPTV is encourage our producers to film on location. Not only does shooting on location give our producers the opportunity to take advantage of their subject matter, filming in different locations gives each program its own distinct flavor. This also helps anyone who's flipping through the channels avoid confusion when they turn on BPTV. With around 500 programs produced at BPTV each year, the last thing we want people to think is that we're only broadcasting one program. So, you need to come into BPTV to pitch your TV show, but in terms of where you actually end up taping your show, the sky's the limit.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. As promised, we now have Dominic Bianco joining us. And Dominic, as we mentioned, is the author of the Apparition Saga. And book 2 was just recently released earlier this year, correct?
Yes, it was.
So he's here to talk to us about his book, as well as the ins and outs of what it means to be an author. So first, why don't you start off by telling us the premise of the first book, starting with the apparition.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for having me, first
Absolutely.
of all. The premise of the first book is about an average kid who becomes a superhero one night. And the thing that's neat about, what I think is neat about the apparition, is he's from Bethel Park. He's
Right.
from our hometown. His dad is an archaeologist and comes across a artifact, and he entrusts it to Angelo. And
Angelo's the main character in the book.
Angelo is the main
correct?
character of the book, and through a couple different events, he becomes one with this artifact and gains superpowers.
Pretty
My
awesome.
superpower would be flying.
Yeah.
I would love to be able to fly.
We've talked about that on
Yeah.
previous shows. What if you could have a
Fly.
superpower? What would it be? I think I would like invisibility.
No, I don't want to know what people say about me.
Good point. Okay, so now going on to book 2.
Yes.
So the apparition does kind of leave you hanging, right? Leaves you wanting for more. And finally, that more has arrived because
Right.
The Rising Sun was just published in September
Yes. Yeah. It was published in September.
and kind of just picks up where the apparition left off.
It picks up about 6 months after the events of the first book.
Okay.
In the first book, there's a villain and there's a love interest, and there's all these things that you want to see in a superhero book or a movie
Right.
or a comic book. But then the story ends, and then you want to know what happens next. So Angelo's powers have changed; they've evolved, and in the second book, you get to see what he does with them.
Very
Sounds
cool.
great. So I think it's a great read. I don't know if you've read The Apparition. I had the pleasure of reading The Apparition. I've not read The Rising Sun yet. I think it's a great read for anyone, but particularly if you're a Pittsburgh native,
Right.
just because it is so cool, or especially Bethel Park native, because they reference so many things
Yes,
throughout the story. So
I
that's
like
pretty
that.
cool to be able to be like, hey, I know where that is, or yes, I've been there. So why do you think the message of Be a Hero, because that is kind of the message that you're sending to readers,
Right.
why do you think that's so important, especially in today's world?
I think it's with bullying and with things that kids go through and adults go through and young people go through. I think it's important to have one person say that they're going to change the mold and be different. And if they see somebody getting picked on, they're going to stand up for them. If they see any kind of thing that they want to change or
Make a
it doesn't.
difference,
Right,
yeah.
exactly. It's not just about. It's not just about that one person or doing what's right, or well, no, it is what's doing what's right. It's not about what's doing what's popular.
Right.
It's
And that's where, I think I agree with you. It's so important, but I think it's a hard thing to do, especially for young kids. Any
Absolutely.
age, but especially for young kids. You want to empower them to be that person that stands up and makes a difference and is not afraid to stand up for what they believe in.
Right.
But I think it's so difficult,
is
too, with
very
peer
hard.
pressure.
yeah, and I think that's the whole definition of a hero. I think to be able to stand up to something that is scary, and challenging, but say that you trust yourself enough that you know what you're doing is right. I think that's
Yeah.
the message I want is for people to stand up, be different, and be a hero.
I love it. So I love that your book is not only an enjoyable read, but that it's, sending that message,
Thank you.
that ever important message to kids.
So I understand that in addition to, having a regular job and then writing, you also are interested and enjoy drawing and sculpting.
Yeah,
How
I do.
How do you find time?
Well, I mentioned it. I did an interview with the Almanac a couple weeks ago, and he was like reading through the list of like school and work and writing, and he was like, "When do you sleep?" And I was like, sometimes. I was
Here
like,
and
I have
there.
a lot of coffee. Yeah, it's a lot of coffee. No, but I mean, it's something I love, so I just always want to rather than sleep or watch TV or something, I want to be working on something.
Well, I imagine
that-
ideas are always coming to you too. Do you find that ideas are
Yeah.
constantly popping into your head?
They are,
And you're
yeah.
probably, I think most people are like, if you, as soon as you have an idea, you want to write it down so you don't forget it.
Right. And with the apparition, actually, and I had said this previously, but it came to me in a dream. So it wasn't even like it was something where, I was awake and trying to think of something. It was me, as a superhero.
Did it? Was it a recurring dream, or did it just that one time? Right. So that's kind
happened
of like,
like
okay,
3
I have
times.
to do something. I have to
Right.
write this book, right?
Right.
Because it came to you several times in a dream, which
Yeah.
is so fascinating to me. I
Very
think.
cool. It
Yeah.
found you.
Yeah, it did. Oh, that's a really neat way to look at it. Yeah.
And look at the success you're having so far.
Thank you.
So there will be. We can expect a book 3.
There is a book 3 coming. There hopefully will be a book 4 coming as well.
Oh, okay.
So with Apparition, the book ends, and I think it was a nice ending. It was a good ending. Where if I hadn't decided to write further,
You
it
could
would
have
been a
ended it. You could
standalone.
have ended
right.
it there.
Right. Now the second one, and honestly, I never expected that my book to be as successful as it has. Where I would have people say, "What happens next?" and they'd email me, and so now the second book ends on a gigantic cliffhanger. And
Oh, so there has to be a
yeah,
book 3.
yeah. So
Okay.
ends on a big cliffhanger, and we had a lot of people that were like, "Oh, like what happens next?" So I'm
On the
working
edge
on
of
the
their
third one right
seats.
now. Yeah.
Excellent. Good to hear. So your hobbies include sculpting and drawing, but since I follow you on Facebook, I also see a lot of your posts, and you post some amazing dishes. So I'm assuming that cooking and baking is also one of your hobbies.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you had a favorite food, this is just a random question, but what is your favorite food?
I love summer picnic food, especially now. It's
Yeah,
kind of perfect.
grilling
but,
season and picnic season.
Yeah, it's in the winter you can tend to be like, "Oh, I'm tired. I don't want to cook.
Yeah.
Let's do takeout or something
Order
like that."
in
but,
more often.
But when I'm at my best on a grill, I think I like grilled chicken, and I have a lemon pepper chicken recipe that's pretty great. What else?
So favorite food, and then favorite thing to cook would be the lemon chicken.
Yeah.
Is that like your specialty?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that and just picnic stuff, fun, easy.
Sounds good.
I love
We
picnic
were at
food.
the Memorial Day picnic yesterday, and
Yeah,
I
me
definitely
too.
got my. Did you?
It's delicious.
Okay, so now let's get off the food topic again because I'm just getting hungry, and let's go back into the writing process because I think our readers are always curious if they are, interested in maybe pursuing a writing career themselves.
Right.
What is the most difficult part about writing a book?
The most difficult part about writing a book would be, that's a hard question. The process itself is something that was hard, but it was something that was challenging, so it made you want to finish it and complete it. The hardest part would be probably, and it's unfortunate, but people who don't believe in you. People who are like, he's not going to write the book, or she's not going to write the book, or when you do finally write the book, you'll have people that have been helping and mentoring and stuff, and
Right.
and then they'll question how you've done something, or it's a very, it's
that's
extremely
interesting.
subjective,
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
tough, but it's worth it.
And I would think there would be a lot of you in that book. And so if they're criticizing your book or your method,
Absolutely.
I would
Kinda
take that
taking
very
that personally.
personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be difficult.
So yeah, that's absolutely right. I read a quote once that the first book that an author writes is generally about themselves, and I mean apparitions strongly. There's things that
Yeah.
are very much me in that, but you're absolutely right.
So it takes a lot of courage,
It does.
a lot of persistence.
A lot of persistence, a
And
lot
patience,
of
and
the be a hero
believe.
attitude.
I already mentioned the time management aspect of it too. I imagine you have to just be patient with it, because it is a long process, right?
is.
How long, start to finish, did it take before the apparition was actually published and available?
Probably 3 years,
Yeah.
3.5
I think that's
years.
about average. When I
Yeah.
talk to different authors, I mean that's kind of the norm.
It
I
is,
mean, it's
I
not
think.
something that you can just whip up in a matter of months.
Yeah.
So that was the most difficult. What has been the most rewarding aspect of being an author?
The very most rewarding thing that happened, I had two. I just got this question last Saturday, actually,
Oh,
at
really?
my book signing. Yeah. The first one was financial success. That was something where I was very happy about. I went to a Comic-Con.
Okay.
And it was actually right before our last interview
Okay.
here. I was just about to go to Comic-Con.
I think I remember that
Yeah,
actually.
yeah. And we went, and I really was questioning myself. I was like, we're not going to sell books. It's going to be a hard sell. That we were set up next to professional cosplayers. Do you know who the cosplayers are? So we were set up to professional cosplayers, and we were set up with people who had statues, and it was really neat. And I was just kind of in the middle with my book. And I was really intimidated, but by Saturday we had sold out of every single book, and I had to take orders on Sunday because
Oh my
people
gosh,
love the
that's
idea.
amazing.
Yeah, people love the idea of a hometown superhero. So we sold out. I was ecstatic. So I felt successful there, but all of that kind of pales in comparison to when the book first came out. I was sure family and friends would support, and
Right.
but then we started getting people who I didn't know, and kids who I didn't know were picking up my book, and I got an email about a young boy who was being bullied. And I was in that position when I was a kid. I mean, I think everybody is. And I wrote him back and gave him the tagline, "Be a Hero," and because he had sent me the "Be a Hero" tagline, which was so cool.
Chills.
So yeah,
Love it.
So
That's a
that
great
was
story.
out of everything. That was my most successful moment.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So before we end our little interview here, can we take just a little deeper look into The Rising Sun?
Right.
Are there any more superhero characters that you can kind of share on the show and kind of entice our readers with?
Yes, yeah. So that's where part of the cliffhanger. The cliffhanger of the second book involves a new character being introduced.
Okay.
Everyone keeps asking because in the Apparition universe there is no Superman, there's no Batman. It's just
Right.
it's just the Apparition. He's the first superhero. So you will see an evolution of a character, and then it ends, and you don't know where he stands. So it's exciting. It's a neat thing of what's going to happen with this character.
No, I want to
Sounds
read.
great. I know.
wait.
You've definitely piqued our curiosity. So, both books are, of course, available in the Bethel Park Public Library. But if readers want to own a copy, they can purchase it at Amazon, I know.
On Amazon, we are at Rickert and Beagle in Dormont, great bookstore, and we're going to be at other bookstores later in the summer.
Okay,
Yeah.
good to know. Well, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing a little bit about your books. And we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you
as
very
always.
much. Thank
Thanks
you.
so much for being here. So a lot of great things on the horizon here at the Bethel
Absolutely.
Park Public Library. So if you're interested in finding out any more about those things that we talked about on today's show, you know what to do. Go ahead and give us a call,
Visit our website.
or better yet, stop in and see us in person. We'll see you next month, everybody.
We'll leave you today with a 1-minute book recommendation. Have a great month.
Take care.
Hey, it's Christine with another 1-minute book recommendation. Today I want to talk about the book In the Country We Love, My Family Divided, written by Diane Guerrero, published in 2016. Diane was just 14 years old the day her parents were detained and deported back to Colombia while she was at school. She was born in the U.S., so Guerrero was able to remain in the country and continue her education with the kindness of family friends who took her in and helped her build a life and a successful acting career for herself. You may know her for her roles on Orange is the New Black and Jane the Virgin, but this memoir is not about her acting career. It's about the reality of undocumented life in the U.S. that never seems to be discussed. There are over 11 million undocumented immigrants living in the United States, many of whom have citizen children whose stories have not been told. She writes this book with best-selling author Michelle Burford, but Guerrero shines a light on the flawed immigration system in the United States, calling for reform without diminishing the opportunities that she has been afforded through U.S. citizenship. This is a timely book about how deportation and lack of immigration reform is affecting real families all over this country. So come on in and pick up a copy of In the Country We Love.